Well, good evening, guys. It's Chris, your YouTube daddy here. People seem to like these videos when I do a one-on-one and talk about different subjects. So I've had a lot of people asking me about how much does it cost when you come to Blackpool and can you do it on a budget. So I thought we'll do a video today called Blackpool on a budget. So when you come to Blackpool, how much is it going to cost you? And where's the cheapest place to go if money's a little bit tight. So you can trust me because I'm a ninja, and let's get into it. So this is going to be Blackpool on a budget. So I'm going to go through my bullet point list. Got me a bit of paper with my bullet point list on again, and we'll go through the bullet point list, and then we'll talk about what the things cost here and how you can do things a little bit cheaper. So we're going to talk about hotel, so your accommodation, where you're going to stay, travel, yep, your food, where you're going to eat, your entertainment, places to visit, and that's basically it. So hotels, travel, food, entertainment, pubs and places to visit. So we'll start off with hotels. Now, hotels in Blackpool are actually dead cheap. You can get them from, excuse me, I've had a bit of a slurp of a coffee. You can get them from, and shortbread. Oh, somebody brought these, sent these to me the other day. I love shortbread. Anyway, so you can get hotels from about £15 a night. These backstreet hotels, you can pay up to £80-90 a night. So it all depends what you want. Obviously, the £15 a night ones are going to be a little bit dicey, aren't they? Excuse me, my dinner. Or you can stay in Airbnbs, you can stay in luxury hotels. So the price range for the hotels is vast. But right at the bottom is about 15 quid a night you can get them for. Round these back streets of the hotel, you can either book them online or you can just turn up. So if you are really on a budget, you can get a hotel for about £15 a night per person. That's not normally including breakfast, or you can get Airbnbs for a weekend, maybe a couple of £100. So it depends what you want to spend, but you can spend from about £15 a night. Travel. How are you going to get to Blackpool? So what I did was I had a quick look online, and I based this coming from the Midlands, because I understand the Midlands. And if you're travelling by bus from Telford, it'll cost you about £25. That's return. If you're coming by train from the same part, the Midlands, that'll cost you about 50 quid. That's per person, return again. If you're driving, obviously you need to work out how much petrol is going to cost you. But so if you come by bus, it's about 25 quid. And by train, it's about 50 quid. So if you are on a budget, 15 quid hotel, £25 on the train. So that's £40 so far we're up to. You've got somewhere to stay, and you can come here and go home. Right, food, when you're here and you're eating. Now, obviously, like everywhere, there's a complete array of different prices. Now, obviously, I've got the £1 burger bar, so you can come and buy a burger for £1. You get breakfast for about £2.99 each. You can get fish and chips. You've seen all the food reviews out there, so if you're not sure, if you just check on my channel, Walk on the Wild Side channel, the Mac Masters, anyone who does the Myers family, anybody who does food reviews in Blackpool, you'll know where to go and where the cheapest places are. But the cafes aren't particularly expensive in Blackpool. As you say, just stay off the front. The simple rule of thumb is, if you're going to go on the front, you're going to pay premium prices for burgers, for candy floss, for hot dogs, for donuts. Especially these kiosks on the front, you are going to pay premium prices. Just literally go off the beaten track a little bit. Go to a cafe on a back street, a locals cafe, stuff like that. The chippies, the local chippies. You've seen the chippies on Harrow side, the back of the Solara Centre. Places like that, you can get food dead cheap. So food's not particularly expensive here up north, or down north, depending if you're from Scotland. So food isn't that expensive. Right, entertainment I've got a good little list of entertainment here, which I've done. And what I've done a bit of research to find out how much it's going to cost to go to different places. So when you're in Blackpool, you need to be able to get here. So we've ticked that off the box. You need to be able to have somewhere to stay. We've ticked that off the box. You need to eat. We've ticked that on the box. Now, you need a bit of entertainment. Now, depending what type of entertainment you want. If you want to go to a pub and you've not got a lot of money to spend, same again, stick off the beaten track. Now, the cheapest pub in Blackpool is the Ardwick. Now, that's on Vauxhall Road. The front of it's on Vauxhall Road, just behind Silcox, and the back of it is on Dale Street. Now that's £1.80 a pint. I know, unbelievable, £1.80 a pint. But they don't take. You can't have kids in there. Unfortunately, you're not allowed to have kids in there. If you are going to bring in your children and you need somewhere for kids' entertainment, you've got a couple of different choices. You've got the back of the top of the Manchester. You've got the ones on the pier, and then you've got Nick's Place, which is the New Philly. Now, out of them all, the New Philly, I believe, is the cheapest, and it's got the best entertainment for family entertainment. The ones on the pier are all right, but they are a bit expensive on the drinks because they're on the pier. Because there's one on Central Pier and one on South Pier. So if you are bringing kids to Blackpool and you want to go out for an evening night out and you want to be in a safe, secure environment which is child friendly, I would definitely recommend the New Philly. And as you say, that's on the end of Vauxhall Road, just behind Slots of Fun. You can't miss it, by the new Mark Kelly's. It's called the New Philly. So that's your pub entertainment if you're into that type of things. Now, places to visit. Now, first of all, I'll talk about the free stuff. But you're going to need to be able to get there, aren't you? Now, if you're driving, it's easy. But you have to consider parking and stuff like that. So, first of all, I'm going to tell you how much it costs to catch buses and trams in Blackpool. Now, I had to do a bit of research on this because I've never caught a bus or a tram since I've moved to Blackpool. So I had to do a bit of research to this. But it's actually quite cheap. So you get a combined ticket. If you buy a ticket, you can use the tram or the bus together. Okay? So for 1 hour, it'll cost you £3. For a day, this is per person, okay? For a day, it'll cost you £6.50 for the ticket. So if you want to go to Fleetwood or Lisbon Sedans or Stanley Park or somewhere like that, yeah, and you want to have a day ticket, it'll cost you £6.50. But that does mean that you can use the tram of a night time to go down the Illuminations as well. Or if you're here for 7 days, that'll cost you £23. And if you're here for a month, you might want to say for a month, that'll cost you £80. Now, that's unlimited bus or tram. So you can go between the two. So if you're here for a week, £23, it's probably cheaper if you do bring your car, just to park your car up and get the bus and the tram everywhere you want to go. Because sometimes in main season, the traffic is an absolute nightmare and parking is so difficult. So if you get a parking space, it's probably going to work out cheaper to get yourself one of these tickets. You can buy them either on the bus or the tram, or you can buy them online. So as I said, that's 1 hour, £3, 1 day, £6.50, 7 days, £23, and 30 days, £80. Now, once you've got your ticket, you can then go and explore. Now, if you want to go out of Blackpool and you want to go somewhere free, you can go to Stanley Park. Jump on a bus, takes you to Stanley Park. Now, if you don't know what Stanley Park is, it's basically a park which is kind of that direction, which is about 3 miles inland, right by the Victoria Hospital, and it's a massive park. Now you got bandstands there. There's a pond with ducks and stuff like that. Now, if you like that kind of thing, there's areas for kids to play and stuff like that, and it's free. So it's a big park in the centre of Blackpool, and it's well away from the touristy area. Now, people do like Stanley Park, and there's always events going on up there. So you can always spend the day up Stanley Park. That's absolutely free to go there. You can catch a tram. To get to Stanley Park, you have to use the bus. To get to Fleetwood, you'd use the tram. Now, obviously, you can use your ticket to go on the tram. Now, I'm not quite sure what's in Fleetwood. There used to be a massive big Fleetwood market, but I believe that's gone now, or it's not as good as it used to be. Okay, I'll be back in 1 second. Sorry about that, we got rudely interrupted there by a telephone call. So where had we got to? Fleetwood. So you can go down to Fleetwood on the tram, and it'll take you along the coast, past Bishburn, through Cleveland, and then down to Fleetwood. So you can always stop up at Cleveland if you like. There's a few entertainment areas in Cleveland. There's some good chippies in Cleveland, to be fair, and there's some good cafes, and they're not badly priced in Cleveland. And then you can go down to Fleetwood. I don't know too much about Fleetwood. I know they do a lot of fishing down there, so there's a big harbour, so you can go down there. But I don't know that much about Fleetwood. Okay then, so there are things you can do absolutely free. And there was some other free stuff I could find here. Piers. You can go on the piers. The Central, North and South Pier. They're absolutely free to go on. You don't pay to go onto the piers. Now, North Pier is the oldest pier. So that's the one that the older people like. There's a sun lounge there where you can sit down and have a drink. During the season, there's normally an organist playing on there. And you can sit down and have a coffee or have a beer or something like that, or you can just walk along the pier. There's arcades at the front of each pier. Obviously, you don't have to play them. It's entirely up to you. And then you can take a walk down the piers. So North Pier is the oldest pier. So that's more the Sun Lounge and the older generation. Central Pier is more for the younger crowd, because you've got the big wheel on there, you've got the dodgems, and you've got all the kids entertainment where you buy tickets on there. So you go to the ticket booths and you buy a certain amount of tickets, and then you pay the attendant on the ride with tickets. So you can choose how much or how little you want to play on. And then on South Pier, again, there's an arcade on the front. There's a few shops on there, and there's bungee jumping and stuff like that on the end. Not my type of thing, to be honest, but if that's what you like. Now I'm going to go through what other entertainment there is in Blackpool and how much it would cost you. We'll start with the biggies, the Pleasure Beach. Now, if you want to go to the Pleasure Beach, it's going to cost you £33 per person. Now, gone are the days where you can just walk in there or pay for how many rides you want to go on or stuff like that. It's a flat charge of £33 now. Now, this was right up until now. Yeah, now, if you're watching this in season 2025, it may have gone up, I don't know, okay? But at the moment, it's £33. Now, that gives you a wristband, but that basically means that you can go on anything on the Pleasure Beach. So it doesn't matter if you're going in there with your kids and you don't go on the ride. It makes no difference. You have to pay the flat rate of £33 per person, okay? I'm not going to go into the debate whether that's good, bad or indifferent. That's just the way it is. So it'll cost you £33. The Tower, if you want to go to the Tower, now that varies in price. It goes from £12 up to about £30. Now, £12 seems to be for if you want to go to one attraction, because there's several different attractions in there. There's like the Tower Eye, where you go to the top of the tower. There's the circus, there's the dungeons, and there's lots of different attractions within the tower. Or if you pay £30 per person, that gives you all of the attractions, I believe. Okay, now that's a good day. It sounds quite a lot of money, £30, but it is a whole day. And the circus is fantastic. But if you just want to go to the circus, it's £12, but you can't do any of the other attractions. Okay, Waxworks is £17.50 per person, or £55 per family. Personally, I think that's a bit expensive to look at wax dolls. And it's all about, if you spend that amount of money, how much time entertainment you're going to get. If you spend £33 in the Pleasure Beach, you're going to spend a whole day there. If you spend £30 on the Tower, you're going to spend the whole day there. If you spend £17.50 at the Waxwork, you're going to spend an hour in there. An hour and a half, maybe. If that's your thing, I'm not going to say don't do it. I just personally think it's a little bit expensive. Now, there may be, if you check online, there may be ways of getting it discounted if you buy, because the Waxworks is all a part of Merlin, and Merlin own the tower and the Gruffalos, and a few different things around Blackpool. So you might be able to get a whole package which will last you a week. So you check up online, but I personally think the Waxworks is a bit expensive. Okay, your choice. Okay, now bingos. Got two different types of bingos in Blackpool. You got prize bingos, which is, there's three of them. There's James's, which is next door to me, and no doubt you'll hear that calling very shortly because it's nearly bingo time, which is 50p a game. You got Pete's Happy Days, which again is 50p a game, or you got Pat's on the front, which is 10p a game. Now the difference is obviously the difference in the wins. So it's 50p a game, pick in a stall, one win. At James's, which is next door to me, Pete's is 50p, and you get multiple wins, and then you can have big prizes. So the more people who are playing, the more wins you get, and they do bonus games and stuff like that there. Now at Pat's Bingo, it's 10p a game, but obviously the win value is a lot less. So it's up to you. It's up to you. So there are only 3 prize bingos left in Blackpool. Now we've got 2 cash bingos in Blackpool. We've got Mecca. Most of you know what Mecca is. That's up by the train station. And then we got the new one, which is Bingo 3000. Now, I'm not particularly a bingo player myself, but I'm told Bingo 3000, which is on Rigby Road, just by the McDonald's down from the Crazy Scotch Bar, is very good value for money. It's far better value for money than Mecca. You can go in there and only spend the £5, or you can go in there and spend loads of money. It's up to you, but I believe that's where all the locals go to now. So if you are into cash bingo, I'd recommend you go to Bingo 3000. As I said, it's on that small retail park by Ballatine's fitness place, where the McDonald's is, just off Rigby Road. If you don't know where that is, if you go to the Manchester pub, just go past the Manchester pub, and then you'll see Rigby Road. Walk down Rigby Road, and it's on your left-hand side. You'll see it just before the bridge. You won't miss it. Okay? You could always go across and have a game of Donkey Derby at South Pier, which is where Rick works. That's Beyond the Edge. For those of you who remember Rick, you go and say hello to Rick, and he works on the Donkey Derby. So it's 50p a game, and if you win, it's more of a skill game. The more balls you throw, the more the donkeys go, and then you win, and then you win prizes. The prizes seem to be all right, but obviously there's a lot less people on there than there were on bingo, so you've got more chances of winning. Okay, you can go to the zoo. Again, you can go to the zoo by using your bus pass, which you buy. Now, the zoo costs you £20 per person. Now, I'm not really into zoos, but Karen says the zoo is pretty good in Blackpool. Now, that's right. You can always have a day at Stanley Park and then a day at the zoo, because the zoo is directly opposite Stanley Park, up by the Queen Victoria Hospital. So you can always have a day in the zoo, and that will cost you about £20. Okay? If you want to go to a cinema, we now have an IMAX cinema, which is at the back of Hounds Hill Shopping Centre. Now, that'll cost you apparently £26 for 2 people. Now, I don't really know if that's good, bad, or indifferent. I've no real idea at all. But that's what that will cost you. Okay? And what else have we got here? Crazy Golf. If you fancy a game of Crazy Golf, there is Crazy Golf. There's an indoor one and an outdoor one. There's an indoor one on the opposite side of the road to the piers, but between North Pier and South Pier, there's an indoor golf course there, which will cost you £6.99 per person. That might kill a couple of hours, I guess. And there's also, I believe, one outside the Pleasure Beach as well, an outside Crazy Golf as well. Okay? I've just thought of one which I've not checked the price on. So if you do know what the price of this is, please put it in the comments below. There's also the water park at the Sandcastle, which is opposite the Pleasure Beach. If you want to go into the water park. Now, I've not been in there for years, a long time. Now, I don't know what the price of that is. So if you want to go to that, please check it out on the Blackpool Water Park on the internet. But that is a full day's entertainment. It's like a high humidity in there. It's like being tropical. So if it's wet or rainy or cold outside, it's definitely worth a visit. And a quick one I've added on the bottom, because as I was writing this list out, my mate who owns a scooter company popped in for his daily burger. And I said, oh, while I'm doing this list, please tell me how much it is to hire a scooter. So if you need a mobility scooter. Now, this guy is located on Lytham Road. So if you walk in there, you go to the Manchester pub, and you take if you've got the Manchester pub directly in front of you there, and the seat to your right-hand side, you'll see Lytham Road on the, just bearing off to the left. You walk along there for about 2 minutes, and on the left-hand side, it's there. Now, apparently, it's £30 for 1 day, £50 for 2 days, and £60 for 3 days. So I believe, okay? But it's £30, £50, and then £60. I'm sure that's what he said. All I wrote down was £30. Anyway, the longer you have it, the cheaper it becomes. Okay. Now, I'm assuming that if you're booked into a hotel, you'll be able to phone them up, because I know they drop them off and pick them up. I'm not sure if there's a charge for that, but you see the van driving around all the time, picking them up from the Craggy Dawn and the Blackpool Promotions hotels. So if you do need a mobility scooter, that's the best place to get them from. They're top notch. They're all well maintained. They're fully charged up when they get to you, and they do pick them up and drop them off. So I think that's it. Yes, you can hear the bingo in the background now. So, if you do want to come to Blackpool and things are a little bit tight and you've not got a lot of money, you don't have to spend a lot of money. If you do want to spend loads of money, you can spend as much or as little as you want. It's entirely up to you. So, we'll just summarise. Hotels, accommodation from £15 upwards. To get here by bus, 25 quid. By train, 50 quid. Your food, it can be as cheap as a pound burger or as expensive as a 5-star restaurant. It's entirely up to you. But as a general rule, food is pretty cheap here. If you're self-catering, you don't have to go to the corner shop. We do have Lidl's, we have farm foods. You've seen on my videos where I go to farm foods. If you're self-catering, there's nothing to stop you going to Asda, Tesco, farm foods, Lidl, anywhere like that. We got loads of them around Blackpool. They're dead easy to find. Places to visit. Get your bus ticket. If you're here for a day, £6.50. If you're here for a week, £23. And then that'll save your little feet. And you can also jump on the tram at night and go and do the Illumination tour. So if your Illuminations are on and you fancy doing the Illuminations tour, you've still got your tram ticket and you can go up and down the Illuminations. You can go to Stanley Park for free, Fleetwood for free, Cleveland for free, or Lytham St Anne's. I didn't mention, I forgot about Lytham St Anne's. So if you look geographically, if you've got the sea directly in front of you, Fleetwood and Cleveland is to your right, past North Pier. Lytham St Anne's and Lytham is to the left. So it's really nice up at Lytham, but there's not the entertainment on like there is in Blackpool. It's a lot quieter, it's a lot calmer. Very picturesque, very nice. They do have a pier down there, but there's not that much going on. And just to be aware that because Lytham is more of an affluent area, the food and the cafes and the ice cream and the burgers are a bit more expensive in Lytham rather than Blackpool. So if you do want to go to Lytham for a day and money's a little bit tight, it may be worth taking a packed lunch with you or something like that, because food is a little bit more expensive up there. Okay then, I hope that's given you a basic idea on how much it's going to cost you if you come to Blackpool for a weekend, a week, a month. It's entirely up to you. Don't forget, if you like this video, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if there's any more types of videos you want me to do like this, people seem to like me doing this one-to-one videos. I get a lot of likes and a lot of people asking me to do these type of videos. Please put in the comments below what type of video you'd like me to do next. Thanks a lot for watching, and don't forget, like and subscribe. Bye for now.